Hello everyone, welcome back to Back to the Future. For this time for part 3, we're finally going to the West. It took a while, but next time I need to remember to not leave with pilot the TARDIS. So let's just say.
I'm sorry, we took a wrong turning and ended up a ballistic.
So yeah, much like it was anticipated in part 2, a third title was already in development in order to conclude the saga in a perfectly shaped trilogy. I just say that. So we have been to the past a bit. We've been to the future, so now it's trying to go a bit back to the age of cowboys and Indians.
And just like with Back to the Future 2, this will be my first time seeing it.
Oh,
interesting. Well,
interesting.
it's the first time I've seen this film.
All right, start your copies before the Universal montage logo. All right then, 3, 2, 1, click.
So, from what I can recall, Back to the Future 2 is apparently the most popular, despite Back to the Future 1 being the most iconic, and apparently this is considered the weakest?
I don't know, Jova. My country usually treats all of them at the same level, and usually when they're broadcast in a marathon format along the course of a day.
It honestly makes sense, considering as how they're, event-wise, they're literally back to back to back.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Incredibles 2 is going to do.
Oh, wait, not yet.
Wrong era.
Yeah. Well, we're using time machines, so might as well.
This is taken from the 30th anniversary Blu-ray, the copy that we're watching. So,
Steven Spielberg presents.
At times, Universal.
Back in the day, where Steven Spielberg's name on a movie actually meant something.
It actually was full front. Again, I have to see Ready Player One.
Yeah, from whatever Ready Player One is good.
It's
Well, Jova, in a sense, more like Player One was like easy mode, in a sense that thanks to appealing to nerd culture, it was guaranteed to succeed in some way.
I mean, that's not to say that Steven Spielberg nowadays is considered mainly crap or anything. He's still pretty good. It's just like, he's not as consistent with, his blockbuster hits as much as he used to be.
That's the thing, Jova. Even his more personal, character-driven films like Lincoln are boring.
Lincoln.
And there you go. We start just like
I think give Bridge of Spies a try.
Yeah, Bridge of Spies definitely warrants
it. We start where the first movie, the climax of the first movie, and technically the end of the second movie.
Weird, because
I was wondering, Christ, for a second there, I thought, Christ, we're retconning the second movie after 1 year.
Again, surprisingly no, Dweebs. Remember, as much like Pedro mentioned, the magic of these movies is how good they intertwine between each other in their time shenanigans.
So, Pedro, is there any reason why you kind of...
Oh god, Christopher Lloyd is off his meds again.
Maybe he saw the future and saw that he's gonna be in Food Fight. That'll drive anyone insane.
This man just can't do no wrong.
True, yeah, he actually was the best thing in Food Fight. Oh!
Roll credits.
Okay.
×3.
You were saying, Joel, by the way?
Yeah, is there any reason why you're kind of come off as a bit bitter when it comes to Spielberg? I mean, I know the guy has screwed up a few times, but...
Well, Jova, that's just the thing. I've been disillusioned with a lot of his films, starting with Lost World. There's been a lot of movies and...
I mean, to be fair, it almost happens with almost every director that they're gonna have a few stinkers.
That's just the thing, Jova. He hasn't really made a movie that's on par with the stuff he did back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s since the 90s, actually, so...
I guess. Maybe it was about a view growing up with him, and I just not.
Yeah.
Basically, Dweebs, she's gonna be our kind of a female lead role for this movie. It's a bit complicated. For the technical stuff, the movie was released in May
1640. Is that the time they go back to?
No. The movie was released May 25th, 1990. It costed 40 million and it grossed 244.5 million.
I swear I've heard Mark McClure's name before. Is it? I'll check. Was he Jimmy Olsen off the Richard Donner era Superman films?
I
Maybe.
don't know. Can you remind me the
I
name?
don't know.
Checking now.
Okay.
Costume designer Joanna Johnston. I feel like I've heard that name too.
Well, if she's a famous costumist, I guess.
Yes, he was.
Huh.
And of course, Alan
And of course, Alan
Silvestri coming back for
Silvestri.
the music.
Yeah, and he's also coming back for Avengers: Infinity War. So there's that.
Which should be good. I don't hate
Oh, very good,
the
yeah,
score
very
Brian Tyler and Danny Elfman did for the second one. It's just
That was mostly just
Alan
because
Silvestri.
that was mostly because Josh Whedon has this new thing where his favorite composer to work with is Danny Elfman now.
and Brian Tyler.
That and maybe Joss
Well,
Whedon just did
Was
not
Brian
man.
in Justice League though? I don't think he was.
No. Well, Brian Tyler was Marvel's main composer during Phase 2.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like when Joss Whedon took over Justice League, he brought in Danny Elfman. So I'm just at this point, Danny Elfman is kind of like his go-to composer at this point.
I think the problem is that he doesn't always know how to work that well with Danny Elfman either. Because I've seen Danny Elfman do much better when he's not tied to Joss Whedon.
Tim Burton movies specifically.
Tim Burton movies, even the Spider-Man movie with its main theme, it's like... I mean, and that's not to say I didn't like Justice League's theme. It's just, again, it's the problem in general with Justice League. It's a movie that would be better in a different universe.
It's an abomination that's a mix of two different movies.
Okay. Okay, I'll just sum up my thoughts of Justice League. If that had been the tone, direction, and stuff that they'd started with the DC Cinematic Universe in, we would have been in a much better state, because I actually did like the tone it was saying. The problem is that it kind of just jumped to that tone without any sense of transition.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically
Anyway.
the gist of it is that because of all the timey-wimey, now everything is gone to shit, basically.
Let's see, if I recall correctly, at the end of Back to the Future... Oh no.
Not to worry, guys. I know the best place to go to fix the time travel shenanigans.
Go ahead.
What?
Cardiff.
If I recall correctly, the ending of Back to the Future 2 established that the Doctor had gotten himself trapped in the past or something.
If you don't get the joke, modern Doctor Who will have you covered.
Like, remind me, how did Back to the Future 2 end? Like, I mean, what was the cliffhanger?
Remember, they needed to stop Beef from getting the book.
Oh, I know. I'm
even
asking about the
from-
cliffhanger ending.
No, yeah. They made sure, essentially, due to the storm, Marty was essentially stranded here while Doc was, for some reason, skewered away with the DeLorean in another time period. Marty doesn't know, but immediately after he received a letter from Doc from the past.
Ah, okay.
Thus, and he was instructed to search the Doc of this time and to find some success.
Man.
So
There
they
you go.
filmed part 2 and this back to back.
Yes, in order to, similar to what Peter Jackson will do later on with Lord of the Rings.
It makes sense. It helps continuity be contained a lot better.
Although it's exhausting production.
True.
Oh, it is. But when the results
But
are
if
good,
it's-
it's worth
if,
it.
If the end result is successful, Dweebs, it definitely is worth it.
Like they're filming Avengers 3 and 4 back to back, aren't they?
Wait, what?
Which I don't remember that.
That would not make much sense, because I'm sure Avengers 4 is not the next thing coming out.
So there you go. That's our next big date, 1885.
We're going
One
to the
century-
past.
1 century before the events of the original movie started. There we go.
If this were made by the BBC, I'd just say, just call Doctor Who.
The 13th?
So many rolling credits moment.
Yes, they're shooting Avengers 3 and 4 back to back.
Huh. Why would they do that, though?
Because fuck you, it's Marvel. Though I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure
Unnecessary
about
time
paying for a
travel.
2.5 hour movie for.
Tell that to Sonny.
You know, Doc, it's funny that you talk about unnecessary time travel when you were the one who in the first place said that they needed to travel to the future to solve something going on with Marty's kids.
He got killed for it, didn't he?
In the dystopic timeline.
Which reminds me, I wonder how the present is now.
Well, only one way to find out until to the end, Jova.
Yeah. This was 1990. Who was the president at this point?
Bush Senior, I think.
1990? Let me check.
I don't know, Jova.
No.
You're the American. You should know.
Well, wasn't it Clinton already by this point?
Pretty
The
sure it
Clinton was like
was.
for another couple of years. I
Oh,
think.
okay. All right. So,
Oh, there you go.
what was the president before Clinton?
Anyway, actually, Tio's right. The president at the time was George Bush Sr.
Joyful.
All right. Yeah.
He was the better one.
Oh yeah. I forgot. He was the one who introduced that awful cartoon all-star special. Yeah.
Marijuana.
Yeah. What's this, a
Anyway.
joint? That's actually a line from the cartoon
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, we know.
I'm speaking to the audience, don't worry.
Sure. Ah,
Wow. For a second, I thought they blew themselves up. And that'll be the end of the movie.
sure. Oh, okay.
Something's going to go wrong.
More like we know what they're about to find, just not exactly how.
Well, not only that, but something's going to happen that causes Marty to have to go to the past, like, Doc Brown.
You'll see, Jova. Don't worry. The beginning, the setting and beginning of this movie is actually simpler than the previous ones.
Really? Interesting.
Surprising enough. It's probably for refreshing. There you go. ELB.
L. Eli. ELB.
Yeah. Emmett something Brown.
Is it Emmett Light Brown?
Dr. Light, yeah, sure. There you go.
And what did they find?
Yeah,
A
the
DeLorean.
obviously.
DeLorean.
Remember, he said in the letter, then they need to search the grave for finding instruction about repairing it and allowing Marty to go back to its original time and just stay there.
Yeah.
Sounds simple enough. Just as long as they don't accidentally end up destroying the instructions.
1990 was an interesting year for sequels. They were either really good or Godfather Part 3.
Yeah.
Or Rocky 5.
Oh, yeah, Rocky 5.
Like the Game Boy, buy now!
Matteo, this was back when Nintendo was king and lord of the American video game.
They actually are nowadays again with the Switch. Funny how time repeats itself. Don't get too headstrong, Doc. You were in the papers in that bad future where Biff had you condemned. Didn't go so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that stopped you ever before.
Just wait, Jova. Let's just say that he may have, the dog may have found something.
Uh-oh. I think something's up with the dog.
Here,
There we go.
Oh.
How is that possible? Oh no.
Time paradox time.
Or
No.
like, that's the thing. Apparently, Doc in the past died pretty shortly after he wrote
No,
the
no, don't
letter.
look at it. Don't look at it, man.
I know this is heavy.
And now all of reality is destroyed.
Yes, we can read, Marty.
Shot in the back. Hey, I can't read that.
Wait.
Oh,
Hold it.
yeah, right. Sorry.
His wife Clara, but Doc doesn't have a wife.
Oh no.
Shot in the back by Buford Tannen
Tannen.
over a matter of $80.
Buford Tanner, let me guess, that guy's
There you
related to
go.
Biff, isn't he?
Exactly, he's
Yeah.
ancestor.
So
And
basically,
of course,
he's
since it runs in the family, he's much more of a... Imagine Jova bully like Tan Beef in the West. Yeah.
so basically he shot him for a high budget PS4 game and a Shenmue 1 and 2 HD collection.
Impossible, those didn't exist back then.
No, Joe, didn't you see? He would get the $80, then travel forward in time to buy those games.
How would he even know about those games?
Time travel.
But Doc has the time travel machine,
Time
not Biff.
travel, Joe.
True, yeah, maybe he faked his death.
Or maybe there just happens to be another Emmett Brown.
All right.
Oh.
He was German.
Because if Emmett's dead, then how is he there?
There you go.
He probably went back in time and did something.
Apparently, he was the one who actually invented the clock tower of the city. And there you go. This prompts Marty to actually use the DeLorean instead to just go back to 1985 and fix things.
What?
Or at least discover the truth.
DMC. Wow, this was ahead of its time. He predicted Devil May Cry 11 years in advance. Zemeckis and Bob Gale were ahead of their time.
Yeah.
There you go.
No.
Yeah. Did you try to... jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, basically hide anything
There you go,
post
the
1985.
But at least he's bringing him back with him.
I have to say, I guess this does not count as unnecessary time travel. I mean, just saying, Marty, you really want to do all this just to get answers?
Or or in order to save Doc's life.
They're at a drive-in cinema.
With some arguably uncomfortable images in the background.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, remember when Doc actually set up supposedly the day for birth of Jesus Christ? What happened to that?
Yeah.
Oh, apparently drive-in cinemas are a thing here in the UK.
I wish there were actually a thing here in my country, but we never actually caught on.
I'm not sure how, considering it rains half the time here.
Well, dweebs, like that's gonna stop them from charging you money.
I mean, I can get it why I would work in the States, but the UK, where it rains everywhere?
Yeah, well, you probably have some non-raining days.
And there you go. That's the last that we see of. We're gonna see of the Doc of this time.
Aww. But I like this Doc. I mean, I like the other Doc too, but you know what I mean.
And there you go.
That's
Thanks to the recycling engine, he doesn't need to use the plutonium thing.
Dweebs. Regardless, it's Christopher Lloyd. Does it really matter which role he's playing?
Yes.
Food fight.
Rasputin in Anastasia.
Teo, come on. I mean, I honestly telling me
The
that watching
creepy
him be completely hammy and over the top wasn't at the
for
most
the
fun.
10-minute is in.
The creepy librarian from Pagemaster.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Back to 18.
And
Let me guess, he doesn't make it.
actually worse.
Oh.
He made it, and oh no!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Racism Land.
Other times.
This was back.
Wow, is this where they filmed the Lone Ranger after this?
Also, Marty, you could
Apologies to Native Americans everywhere.
Okay, I haven't seen this bit.
Hold on,
I
let me
haven't seen this
check.
film before. But Pedro, what would you say is more offensive? This or Johnny Depp in Lone Ranger?
Johnny
I'd
Depp, Lone
still say
Ranger.
Johnny Depp.
Because,
Especially also
Jo-
because this is probably the only appearance that they actually have in the movie. You get this initial chase and that's it.
Not just that, this movie was made in a different time.
Let me check. Hold
Where-
on.
Yeah, 1990 versus 2013.
Hold on.
There you go. You found a good hiding spot for the
Let me
DeLorean.
check and see if that stuff's actually accurate. Let's see.
Sure.
It doesn't matter if it's accurate, Jova. If the PC culture considers it racist, it's racism. They
What?
don't care.
And that's why we don't give them the time or place or day to mention.
Anyway, at least he found a hiding spot for the DeLorean. Yay.
That's great, I guess.
Oh,
All
shit.
right.
Oh.
Oh, goody.
I love how no one actually noticed him when he was on the hill.
Well, yeah. It's pretty much charged through or be charged.
Also, that's a nice green screen. Yeah. Anyway, unfortunately, the
Oh.
worst thing possible happened. An arrow
No.
actually struck the gas tank.
Wow, fuck.
So that's the problem. It's gonna be a problem more evident later on, but essentially, even with the recycling thing that allows not using the plutonium, instead garbage to make the line work, you still need gasoline to actually make the
leak.
machine start, and that's a problem.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
leaking.
Please don't rape me. Ah, Jesus.
I wonder. If there's a cave in, then that'll explain how the DeLorean ends up in the future.
We'll see.
Oh, he likes the boots.
He can have them.
Whee!
Ow.
Oh,
Ooh.
Ow. And he's unconscious.
oh boy. Speaking of stereotypes,
Michael J. Fox as a cowboy.
yeah.
Yes.
Remember, ever since the first movie said that he loves Clint Eastwood, so this is actually the right time for him to shine with his famous stars shenanigans. Yeah, here's the thing. He has been found by his own ancestors. Guess what? Yeah, he's still in the past, but he still managed to find his own parents.
Like,
somehow.
is time travel just I need to find my relative's magnet or something so I can ever run into incest?
My guess, Jova, the movies don't state directly, but apparently what it implies that thanks to time travel, people may be more inclined to run around in their relatives of that time period. Something like Destiny or some shit. But it's not something that the movie, deepens or explores more.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. He decides to call himself Clint Eastwood for the sake of having a cover name.
Clever.
Yeah, original character do not steal.
So he's going to grow up to make a film that bashes the National Transportation Safety Board. It's silly.
Oh well.
I mean, it's a good movie. It's just, well, you can tell he's not a fan of that group.
What does he have against him?
I'm not really sure, actually. I mean, from what I can tell, he doesn't seem to view them in a positive light.
Yay, rabbit or hare, I guess. Oh yeah, that's a long story.
Yeah.
The horse broke down.
Yeah. That's
What happened? Did his hoof fall off?
let's just say he got shot and is bleeding out.
Pretty
He
much.
just left him there, you bastard!
No, I put him out of his misery. A bear came about.
Yeah, the water was not exactly filtered, Marty.
Yeah.
A bear in the middle of the desert.
There actually are some out there, believe it or not.
Marty, what's wrong? All right, the bullets.
Yeah.
What? I forgot who plays the ancestor. Let me check.
Is it Michael? I'm pretty sure it's
like him.
Michael.
Think
I'm pretty
so.
sure it's. Remember, Theo, this is how Back to the Future operates. The older version of Marty was also played by himself. I'm
Oh
pretty
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I also get what you mean thanks to that transition effect, masquerades.
And I'm pretty sure she's also being played by the actress. I forgot her name.
Yeah, who
Plays his
plays
girlfriend.
yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting how apparently both their ancestors also were a couple. Like this is the biggest coincidence of time.
I'm not quite sure you'd like Doctor Who then, Pedro.
Well,
Well,
remembered with Doctor Who
Eh?
kinda justifies his continuous changes. Oh, yeah.
P joke, great.
Yeah,
It
yeah. Hold
happens.
it up to the camera. so we
And I now hate this movie.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of that kind of joke. But again, the 90s, I guess.
It works sometimes.
Well, then again, then I can talk. I actually like the P joke in the first Transformers movie.
P jokes
Yeah.
are pretty much like fart jokes. When you actually do get them right, they work phenomenally. The problem is like, well,
It's once in a blue moon.
not so much that. The fact that there's kind of like an oversaturation to the point where you get a lot
There you
more
go.
badly done
The
than
city
good.
of Hill Valley, well, being constructed, I guess.
Yeah.
Hill Valley under construction will open in 1985.
Honest Joe Statler.
Again, not in joke tied to what?
Honest Joe.
yeah.
Bathhouse. Barber shop. Ah, yes, this the Wild Wild West, where everyone had nicely groomed beards.
Full, sure. All nicely groomed? Not always.
Dance Food Games, Saturday night, September 5th.
Proceeds to construct the clock tower.
Remember, essentially the agenda of Marty is to find Doc, discovers what may happen exactly, and to prevent his death. And possibly bring him back for 1985.
But he's the
Time travel dibs.
Yeah. There you go, that's the hall that they're constructing with the
Unless are
time
you
with the
suggesting
clock
that he
tower.
regenerates as a woman for some reason?
considering how messy time travel stories are. How I'm a Doctor Who fan, I don't know.
That's because they use the wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey thing. Also, dwibs. Again, like I
Yes.
said, Doctor Who is a series where the main character can regenerate and can even swap their genitals if they wish.
Oh boy.
It's also a series where London can look a lot like Cardiff and no one notices apparently.
And
Speaking
of
of
course,
which,
he's tapped in shit.
how is the new current Doctor?
She hasn't properly debuted yet till about September, October.
Yeah, that's the thing, Jova. The series take a lot. The seasons take a while to produce and film.
Well,
But
there's fewer
that's
episodes
also-
this time, but they're longer.
Yeah, and also because like we're 40 minutes minimum.
Well, now they're like up to 60 minutes with
Yeah,
this new series
and that's not
coming up.
counting the Christmas specials and everything.
We'll discuss it more afterwards.
Yeah.
Here comes Mongo.
Mongo
I
only
only-
pawn in Game of Life.
I only heard that because of Botchamania. It's a series of
Prostitutes. Merry Christmas. Now, to be
Is this-
fair, no, it was a May release, so it doesn't
Is this like in Power Rangers where they have the weird juice saloon?
work. What?
The TV show. Jeremy Irons? It
Sure, why not?
looks a bit like him. I know it's not him, but
It's ice water.
You wish.
But at least it's nice enough to actually try making try whiskey instead of Jesus, that looks like more acid like.
Yeah, that's the thing about drinks back in the day. They were very acidic.
True, and also because of different techniques of distillation. And
Yeah.
of course, yeah, it's not a bar scene without beef. Well, in this case,
Yes.
Beef's ancestor, which is again played by the same actor.
The world of Back to the Future seems like it's always the exact same thing in every era. Like the son of Biff will tease the son of Marty, the
It's like-
ancestor of
Pedro,
Biff, and
Pedro, holy
what?
shit! It's like in the Zelda series. The
the
incarnation of a goddess, incarnation of a
True.
hero will always be tempted by the incarnation of a demon. King.
true,
Huh,
true,
well, there you
but
go.
true. But to be fair, the Zelda series justified it in the lore.
True.
I mean, honestly, I think it's justified enough here and there. You know, it makes sense
Oh,
that
no,
you
no,
know.
no, I'm not saying it as a flaw, Job. I'm just
Hold
mostly
on.
just. This is a comedy. It's not meant to be taken all that seriously anyway.
I know. I'm just saying, you know, it technically is justified in the sense that, you know, it makes sense that an ancestor or descendant would look similar.
about back to the production
Uh-oh.
of this film. While this production was
Uh-oh.
grueling like the last one, it wasn't quite as much as part two because they only really filmed in this remote location.
Ow.
Of course.
Yeah, that's a thing cowboys did.
Shut up and dance!
It's of course moonwalking. After stops.
Are you
Yeah,
mocking
what
me,
the fuck are
boy?
you doing?
What?
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh, that
What
is
was
the that
What was that
Spit-
full of?
that's a
Spit.
spit bucket.
Ew.
Yeah.
He's probably
Basically,
got
people-
he's probably got like a few hundred people's germs.
Well, that's the thing.
Oh,
Yeah, also
thank
something
God.
people back in the day used to chew tobacco and then spit it just because they wanted to taste it instead of properly smoking it. It was a really bad habit and caused a lot of epidemics for obvious reasons. Jesus.
He was covered in spit was so embarrassing. He decided that voicing a mask in a Crash Bandicoot game was more dignified.
He would later come to regret that decision. Which is a
We-
you know, it's a real shame about that game because that game has such a stellar cast, and yet you waste them on a
It's
bunch
just
of
wasted,
masks.
Yeah.
I'll fix that. It's probably yours.
Poor Marty.
Eek!
Well, to be fair, his clothes were bad anyway. If they get
Oh.
destroyed, it's not big of a deal.
So what was he going to spend the rest of the film in his pants or something?
No.
Ew.
Yay!
Yeah, hanging. That is also a thing that is still done in some prisons. Back in the
Yeah.
day, it was kind of an off-day thing for someone who crossed someone the wrong
And,
way.
and yeah, entertainment show, apparently.
Is this going to be like it's not going to be Pirates 3 levels? of
No,
off, is it?
but instead we have steampunk live sniper rifle.
Heck yeah.
I've got a sniper rifle and you
And there you
haven't.
go. That's the entire reason why Beef will Beef's ancestor supposedly will eventually kill Doc in this time. Because of his stupid squabble about the horse.
Well, yeah, that kind of was a thing back then.
Oh. Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Of course.
Or across your whole body.
Hopefully
Well,
Doc.
remember the tombstone specifically said that he was being killed by a backshot.
Hopefully he created a bulletproof vest like he did in the first film.
So how does I'm a bit
Hold on.
confused. How does this Doc know Marty?
Remember, dudes, this
Remember-
is the Doc from the end of Back to the
He
Future
was.
2.
It's not Doc's
Well,
ancestor.
not
it's the real
technically the
Doc.
same one,
Well,
but in the sense
at
that...
the end of the second movie, he was catapulted here because of a bolt of lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
Now I wish I'd paid him off.
No shit. True.
But what if you're supposed to get together with her to make your own ancestor?
Well, he doesn't know. Oops. Mm-hmm.
Her name's Clara, isn't it?
Well,
Oh god,
Just
a time travel story where the main girl's name is Clara.
What's wrong with that?
the Doctor Who, Jova. That's all.
Doctor Who.
That's all you need
Twin
to know.
Dilemma.
No, worse.
No.
Wait, what's worse than
Well,
Twin Dilemma?
She's one of the worst companions I ever seen. But
Oh,
again,
wait, hold on,
much
hold
like I
on.
stated in a lot of times, she's not worse than Rose.
Was that the
Sorry.
show I watched with you, Shiroi, and Dwibs?
Okay, Jeff, I'll sum up.
The one from the
I won't
episode
go-
called
no,
Father's Day?
No, it wasn't.
I won't go too much into it, but Mary Sue. That's
The
that's
one
what
you
I'll say.
watched with us, Jova, where the companion was Rose. There you go. We're also explaining how the events of the second movie now are safe because burning the almanac means that Beef will not manage to get it back to his past self.
Now here's
Yeah.
hoping that Marty's life doesn't go back to being miserable like it was at the start of Back to the Future 1. That would suck.
And this entire machine is only used for making ice cubes.
Kind of has to
All
be.
that for one ice cube.
Well, Dwips,
Yes.
if it makes your tonic better, might as well. Yeah.
19th century edition.
Marty's
Sure.
just rolling with it.
Not like
You
he
know,
has
the
much
19th
choice.
century- the 19th century in the UK had people like Charles Dickens and fancy people in hats living around here.
Yeah.
There you go. They need...
This is full. The US in the 1800s was full of outlaws and
Oh, don't worry, dudes. UK had plenty of colorful characters themselves too.
So there you
said
go.
Charles Dickens.
What to do then? First, we're gonna try some experiments.
Kinetic energy.
Yeah, that's clearly not gonna work.
So what, they're going to use the horses to go back in time?
They tried.
That's the thing. The only thing they need
Yeah.
is to get 88 miles per hour. The way we're getting it, it's not a big of a deal.
It's going to take a while.
That's a problem, yeah. With the horses, it just doesn't work. So let's try replacing the gas with the alcohol. Might as well.
I don't think it's compatible.
Oh, it may be compatible. Let's just hope they don't spark it. Uh-oh.
No,
Yeah.
the DeLorean's going to explode.
Like I said, spark it. That's the problem with alcohol. Basically,
Too
gas.
volatile.
I mean, gas does have alcohol in it, but it's incredibly distilled and mixed properly, so as to, not be overly explosive. Despite what action movies would have you believe.
So, yeah.
But isn't.
What?
Oh no, he can't just hide in the ranch, can he? Because he's got an engagement.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah.
see.
Okay,
Look-
now I'm imagining they're just pushing the car with their hands and waiting till it gets up to 88 miles.
Of course,
Well,
the
you go-
locomotive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good job this film was set in the US. If it was set in the UK, if they try to do that, they get a huge parking fine. They get a huge speed fine.
Okay. How convenient.
Down.
Haha!
So yeah, the plan is simple. Basically steal the locomotive, put the DeLorean in front of it, and push it until it reaches 88 miles.
I can't tell which is more simpler, this or kidnapping the president in National Treasure 2.
That film. The thing I remember most about that was when Nicolas Cage pretended to have his hand cut off.
Yeah.
Oops.
I know his character has a name, but
Well,
come on,
crud, the
Steve.
bridge is
Yeah.
out.
Well, more like they still need to finish it.
Are you sure it's not just
Well-
damage from the end of Lone Ranger?
No, guys. That's actually the project completed.
I mean, as Doc is saying, on the long scheme of things, it's not big of a deal because as soon as he reaches his own time, the road will still be there, so it will be safe enough.
Yeah, we just have to make sure that we
the-
actually make
yeah.
it to our time before we hit the end of the bridge.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
the main.
It's like a
dilemma.
plane takeoff, only even more lethal, because at least a plane can sort of gently fall back on the ground.
But some hijinks.
Don't be silly, love. You can't go back in time. Your horses aren't going fast enough.
Yeah, there's that too.
And then the horses start sparking, and then they.
No, dweebs. That's how it works.
This does remind me of the Bat Horse. Yes, there's actually a companion of Batman's called the Bat Horse.
There was also the bad cow.
Yes. And don't even get me started on
Cow.
the actual bat.
Long story. Let's just say that I forgot the name. Grant Morrison had a funny sense of humor.
Yeah.
What we're gonna have next? The bat the bat pig.
And before you ask, yes, Batman does have a bat dog named Ace, just like Superman has a super dog named Crypto.
Crypto, yeah. Anyway, there you go. Doc inadvertently just saved someone's life. Which is Ghost Call Clara, and look at that. Love at first sight. Is this a Disney movie now?
To be fair, Love at First Sight is actually a real life phenomenon.
I would agree with that, Jova, but well, not to be rude and anything, but
Hormones.
Miss Mary Steenberg, whatever you're called, you're not that attractive. I guess for Doc purposes, you're good enough, but
It all depends on the beholder. Like, seriously, for some people it may do nothing, but for others, a redhead will literally drive them hot wild.
can tell you what,
Yeah.
this actress has quite the lengthy career, so at least with that.
Drop for a second there. Did you guys say anything?
No.
So, how did her career go after this movie?
Oh, quite lengthy. Let me check. Well, it was also existing before Jova. She started around 1978 with Going South.
Mm-hmm.
The most recent thing she did was a movie called Book Club.
In what year?
2018.
Oh,
She's
wow.
doing movies, and she's doing movies until now. Let me get you the link.
It was almost like fate took a
Yeah, it
hand.
was Destiny. Yeah, sure.
And she's looking pretty good for her age still.
Yeah. I'm going to die next year. I mean,
To be fair, though, Doc stated also in the other movie that he considers woman the second biggest mystery after time. So I think that makes him going illogical. Actually, makes sense.
Jeez, this lady's been in practically at least one film per year. On average,
She's
3 or
very
4 per
workaholic.
year.
And don't forget the TV series, Jova. She's very workaholic.
Apparently, she had a movie break from 1995 to 2001, where she wasn't in any movies till then. But after that, wow. Well, keep on going, girl.
Oh, and she was in The Tale of the Princess Kaguya.
What's
Oh,
that?
goody. The last Isao Takahata movie before he died.
Ah.
Yeah, just as a force of doing mostly TV
But
work.
there you go.
around,
They're realizing that they actually had changed history by saving her.
Yep.
That's because she was supposed to fall there, and they would have called the place with her name. Yeah, oops.
But wait, hold on. But the tombstone says that she gave her blessings to him after he died, though. So wouldn't that mean that technically she is supposed to live to do that?
Well, I don't know, Doc. The movies turned out to be great anyway.
Yeah, even though that was a little bit of a hard to follow film at times.
Although, seriously, though, did Marty just...
I don't remember this particular detail, Jova.
Oh, I get that. It's just like, oh, though, literally, Marty, you read...
Oh, there you go. They actually constructed a diorama.
Yeah.
But from what I can imagine, Jova, the thing is, he may have saved her still, but he was then killed during the incident.
Well, true. But the way he's acting like he changed time, even though, according to the tombstone...
I don't remember specifically, Jova. There you go. That's the plan. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to return that locomotive just fine.
There you go. Easy and safe, I guess. Physics dweebs, essentially. It depends on the masses, the weight, and the speed.
The failsafe's gonna fail, isn't it?
Well, we'll have to see for yourself, Jova. Again, it's pretty much implied that it's the climax of the entire movie. There we go. Oops.
You gotta break the diorama.
Perfect.
Oh, sucks to be whoever's driving the locomotive.
Yeah, that's already what they said. They're just gonna essentially put the locomotive on kind of autopilot since they're pushing forward and everything, and the locomotive will just crashing down. Ooh.
Wasn't the DeLorean also under a tarp when they found it?
Remember, Doc actually hid the DeLorean like a couple of days before these events. Remember, when he meet Marty, he already acknowledged the fact that he rode the ladder.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So there's technically 4 DeLoreans in time when you think about it.
Yeah. Oh.
I forgot that I thought this was going to be the last Back to the Future thing we did, but then I remembered that short film.
Remember,
short
there's also
film?
the Telltale video game.
Is that on PS4?
No, only on PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. I still actually have to. It's actually been in a while in my Steam library. I actually have to start it.
Didn't Telltale Games do something with Back to the Future?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, they
mentioned.
did.
It was basically the Back to the Future 4 that we never got.
And Christopher Lloyd reprised the role of Doc.
And Michael J.
My
Fox
bad.
came back as in a different role.
Yeah, that's the thing, Dweebs.
By that
after-
point, his disease was already a bit too.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Actually, Tio, there was a PS4 version.
There was
There
a
was,
PS4?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there was too. They remastered it for modern consoles.
Oh, I didn't knew. Whatever, I'm still probably gonna record the the PC,
PC
version
version.
anyway. Yeah, sorry.
And I'll probably play the PS4 version at some point.
It's your traditional Telltale stuff, so easy to come by.
You know, Doc, keep just the rod hard.
So there you go, the birth of the actual clock of the clock tower. Drum roll, please.
1.
Yay!
Oh, by the way, the enhanced version actually got Biff's original actor back to do the voice.
Enhanced?
The PS4 version.
So you're telling me that the PC version doesn't have Biff's original voice actor in it?
It'll just
Yeah,
discuss
then
it
again,
when
then
the time
again,
will die.
then again, it probably got updated anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh boy.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
reason those cameras.
Yeah, phosphorus waves.
Yeah.
That and they could go easily wrong to space and blind him for life.
Yeah.
Sounds like an old Western version of I Was Born This Way.
Alright, some prototype duck hunter. Shoot the dog for 500 points.
Do you know what this feels like to me?
Wow.
This film so far.
Yes,
Right.
This film. So far, this film feels like a good version of the 2013 Lone Ranger film.
I can definitely
Okay.
see that.
I mean, it's in the Wild West and everything.
You know,
There's a
this,
train. There was a train just now.
Evening,
this
madame.
kind of a dance
Yeah.
sequence with Christopher Lloyd actually remind me of that movie where he was a zombie ghost. Like, I forgot what it was called. Or was this movie essentially where Christopher Lloyd turns out to be like a ghost? There's the entire plot of the protagonist kids of like managing to not exercise but allow the ghost to pass away. And at the end, we get like this dance sequence. But it was very weird, but I forgot the title. Just don't let him sing because bugs will start appearing. Yeah. Yeah, Marty, you better start shooting anyway. Don't be scarred for life, Marty. Come on.
Docs can dance.
Yes. Oh, you don't say that to Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah, never call him anything regarding to chicken.
Yay, teaching teenagers how to shoot.
Hey, you
Don't
need...
point it at me, though, man.
Bless the Second Amendment. Yeah. To be fair, both for the time period, actually made a lot of sense.
I mean,
Well, actually,
believe it or
it's
not,
kinda topical.
believe it or not, back in the day, even pre-teens were taught how to shoot. Heck, by the time the automobile was made, 10-year-olds were taught how to drive.
Charming.
Because it's kind of topical since America is going right now through yet another discussion about gun control.
Oh, this lag. Oh, actually, they changed. In my country, it says Disneyland. Weird.
Why would you say Disneyland taught you how to shoot?
Theme parks usually have that kind of attraction here in my country, Jova. So I guess they
True.
went to that.
Okay. Good point.
Disneyland's in France.
Okay. Good point. Even Disneyland has games like that.
Ah,
Disneyland's in France. If it was the French, I would understand, but
that's
the
a
Italian.
big gun. Hmm.
Please check all firearms.
Well, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's all right. I'm hiding a gun in my pants.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
I
I think this is actually the ancestor of that teacher of Marty.
there's
Played by
something that I've
Jennifer.
always wanted to see in
Yeah,
like a TV
I
show.
think it is. Yeah.
Yes, Williams?
Yeah. There's something I've always wanted to see in a TV show or a film. I don't think it's been done yet. What would happen if if a Victorian era English guy went over to the Wild West?
He would probably not be seeing that.
Oh!
Wait.
Oh! I know a movie that does that. Around the World in 80 Days.
Mm-hmm.
Far out.
Why
Not
did you
a-
waste Steve Coogan in that?
Not a fan of the movie.
Not really. I mean, I enjoyed it when it came out, but then the more I think about it, and the more I think about the talent it wasted, Steve Coogan, Jackie Chan.
I think my only really... Okay, it's been a while since I've seen that movie. The only big issue I had with it was the stupid lie reveal thing, which wasn't even a thing in the original book.
Well,
That was
considering we're in the
comical.
age of reboots and all that, maybe they could try again at some point.
Perhaps. And hey, Disney's live-action adaptations so far have been doing
So there you
good.
go. Beanie Pocket Revolver.
Yeah, that was also a thing.
Well, Wrinkle in Time, maybe not so much.
I'm talking about
That's-
adaptation of
that's-
their animated films. Although, from what I've heard about that
That's
Mulan...
not a remake of anything, Lives.
Yes,
Is it?
Jova?
It's an adaptation.
Although, from what I've heard about that Mulan adaptation, that may get iffy. Seriously, why does Mulan have magical powers?
It's my guess is Jova. It's a result of the backlash that Beauty and the Beast got to being just the animated film again. So now they're going the other route and making it as different as they can. Basically.
That would not make sense because Mulan was already in development before that point, and also the fact that despite whatever backlash Beauty and the Beast got, the majority reception of it was positive.
True, but that's just the thing. Like the problem is that a lot of
Honestly-
times Hollywood.
Honestly, Pedro, from what we've seen, it was their own stupid decision from the get-go to do all that stuff with Mulan. Like, seriously, getting rid of the songs, and, okay, getting rid of the...
Well,
Okay,
look at the bright side, Jova. If people hate that movie too, we can say, well, you wanted them to. You didn't like it when it was just like the old animated films. Now they're not.
Be prepared, damn it!
yeah, I mean, I'm
They all
gonna...
in due time.
I'm gonna be quite honest, that's not worth getting rid of the songs and doing something stupid like making Mulan magically powered instead of, her just being an awesome woman in and of her own right. Speaking of awesome women, that'll show you, Biff.
Surprised that she didn't go for a crotch shot.
It's because his crotch is actually well protected and guarded by all that clothing.
Frisbee!
Whew.
So wait, so Doc was supposed to die right about now?
No. Remember, it was in the back, Dibs.
For a second there, I thought that was a gunshot on her dress. Sorry, gunshot wound. Sorry.
Oh, of course. Marty, sometimes you
You.
just need to know when to fold.
I'm sorry, but nobody calls me yellow.
Even Sylvester wants to take the scene seriously.
And let me guess, this is probably what inspires his ancestors.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Let me guess, at high noon.
robbing the bank
They
tomorrow.
have a busy schedule, Dreams. Come on.
Boss, did you say we were going to burn down that orphanage on Wednesday?
No, that was Thursday.
It's
right,
knew.
right. On Thursday we're going to. On Wednesday we're going to assassinate the sheriff.
Shut up.
Isn't right here right now, is he?
Shut up, Brad.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Wow, just that. Hey!
So that's the sheriff.
I love how the guy on the left was not even trying to pretend to play the guitar, actually. And everything was pre-recorded.
Or is he a deputy? I don't know.
Surprisingly enough, Jova, he has a plan.
Of course he does.
Oh, right. Steve Fedora. Sure.
Sure, why not?
Why don't you just make him deputy while you're at it? Ooh, nice.
Thanks, America.
Sometimes, though, to be fair, the Second Amendment came in handy back in the Wild West. You kind of needed a gun to
it was
keep
made
yourself covered.
specifically for that purpose, Jova, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're called peacemakers for a reason.
Yeah. Besides, countries like Japan showed then going to the opposite extreme of confiscating everyone's weapon did not work in the long run.
Yeah.
So
I can't seem to decide whether or not I'm Irish or Scottish, no.
Sorry, I've forgotten. Have we established that the beardy guy is actually Michael J. Fox?
It's probably they're using the same split screen technique that they used in.
It's clearly Michael J. Fox playing him. Look at the face. Come on.
Well, no, sometimes they might.
Alright, I'll look
I
up the
thought they'd
cast
found
list.
Besides Dweebs, sometimes for movies like the old version of The Parent Trap, they actually use very cleverly the whole two.
Yeah, and you can tell,
actors
and you
in the
can,
same role.
yeah. Now that I'm actually looking took a better look at her face. Yeah, it's also the same actress who plays the girlfriend anyway. So yeah, the same actors. Again, we're operating on the same logic as the second movie.
Oh, how cute! They're nerding each other.
Yep, it's definitely Michael J. Fox playing him.
Yeah, for a second there, I thought that telescope was a shotgun, and they were going to try and shoot the moon from down there.
Funny Dweebs, that's the plot of a very old sci-fi, not movie but story.
What? Use a shotgun to shoot the moon?
Marvin the Martian.
Jules Verne in Journey to the Moon, I think it's called, actually theorized the prototype of a space rocket by being a giant bullet shot to the moon. It was very avant-garde. There we go. Oh, we're just talking about it. Yeah, that's what it's called. Again, I'm very fascinated by the Book of Julvan because of how much stuff they predicted in terms of technology.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Doc Brown for the next League of Extraordinary Gentlemen story, please. Just don't make it like the movie, please.
I don't know how
That's
much more
the-
disappointment Alan Moore can survive.
That's CGI.
Well, then
Not just
again,
well, Dweebs, there was also the fact that in terms of adaptation, it was quite bad.
it was the movie
Nah,
that
I wouldn't
also
know that. I
got.
haven't read the book, but
It was the movie that got Sean Connery to quit
shooting star. Because
filmmaking.
of course, a Spielberg production with a shooting star in the background. Never saw that before.
Yeah.
honestly, I'm surprised there wasn't a dun 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 dun.
To be fair, Dweebs, when he was originally in Jaws, that was actually genuine. But ever since then, Spielberg tried to replicate that and put in almost all of his movies.
Speaking of Spielberg, when he was making Ready Player One, this was like one of the few Spielbergish references that he allowed, considering he didn't direct these films, and also he didn't want the film to come off as a Spielberg vanity project.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. It's funny how
So
many. You know what's
Spielberg is humble, if a little bit out of touch.
Thanks
Yeah.
for showing us Michael J. Fox ass.
You know what's ironic is like, well, people like M. Night Shyamalan and Doug Walker, who consider themselves the next Spielberg, end up being all vain and whatnot. Yet the actual guy who they figure they're the next of is not vain himself.
Joe, Doug
Yeah.
Walker. Joe, that's Doug Walker you're talking about. The only guy whose only camera technique he knows is weird zoom-ins.
He thinks he's Steven Spielberg, Dwebs. He thought To Boldly Free was a masterpiece.
Marty quoting movies will not help you for this.
Maybe this is where Clint Eastwood gets it from.
Is this how he directs his movies?
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Well, Dweebs, I can tell you Gran Torino is not like that. Jesus, he's really the hero of the town. Thanks.
But what happens if I die?
That's what that guy
there
is
goes
there
this
for.
joke.
That's the Undertaker. He's there for if he dies.
He
Is that-
looks also suspiciously like Tim Curry, even though he's not.
Is that a Biff?
No. It's weird though. The Undertaker guy looked like Leonard Nimoy.
Lavender. Doc, come on, snap out of it. Yep, that's the one. But his name is vanished.
Huh.
So someone else will die.
Here lies a vacant or something.
Yeah, we're pretty much guessing where this is going.
Yeah, you had to get measured for your coffin, and oh.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Just had a mental image in my that Eastwood directing comment I had in my head. It's just imagine me him actually directing. If you get the take right, I'll shoot you in the balls. And then that's you see, guys. That's how Clint Eastwood always did his movies. He thought shoot meant shoot something, not a movie shoot. How
Yes.
one of
Yeah.
them
Okay.
bankrolled him for all these years, I don't know. Yeah, time paradox.
That's not really an answer, Doc. Also, gotta love how we're managing to prepare all of this with no one actually checking around.
That's usually how it goes, basically. If you time the watch night just right, you could pretty much sneak about. Hence why there was a lot of grave digging back in the day.
But yeah, Doc decides to stay here because derpy derp, he loves Clara.
Yep.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, but it's actually a good point. It's a symbolism of what the Doc at this point now is actually accepted that there will be consequences nonetheless. There is no point in trying to change everything constantly. At some point, you have to draw the line and say that's enough.
Not to
And since
mention,
he actually found some happiness with a woman he actually loves, he thinks that that's enough. It's understandable. Yes, Jova?
I guess it makes sense also since he's probably come to the conclusion that, originally he wasn't going to find out about his own death, but he looked at it and, was able to prevent it. I guess at this point he figures, you know what, time will just change as is change.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Oh, we're preparing the DeLorean on the tracks.
Nice.
Oh. For a second, I thought they were jumping the gun and we're doing the bit right now.
No. Remember, we need to hijack the locomotive first. So many roll credits.
Like I said,
How many times have they said that in this movie? I think they said
Dark
it.
Wars lives. Remember, they're enemies of Cocoon.
This is the third time they've said it, this movie.
I think they said that more times in this one film than in Back to the Futures 1 and 2 combined.
I don't remember specifically.
Be right back.
Sure. True. For good.
Is it really infernal, though?
Well, face it, Jova. It has caused more trouble than anything. Sure, in the end, at least on the first movie, things turn out to be fine for Marty's family.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, apparently so far it has caused much more problems than it actually was worth it.
The sad thing is that it didn't have to cause problems if Doc just hadn't brought them to the future for the second one.
True.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unless I end up bringing you with me. I wonder...
True. True.
Truth is stranger than fiction,
well.
honey.
Yeah. All right then. There you go. Well, you wanted the truth. There you go.
You need an answer. We didn't ask whether you would have been believable. Do? Uh, well, that could have gone better. Poor Doc.
Hmm.
Yay, more prostitution!
It's historically accurate.
It is. What was the rating for this movie again?
PG, I think.
Remember, Teo, this was back when PG had a whole different meaning.
Like, remember,
True.
Theo, Jaws, for as bloody and gory as it was, actually still is rated PG on the DVD.
Surprisingly.
Ah, the good old 4th of July, when we celebrate how we broke off from our British cousins who were overtaxing us.
Mm.
So what did I
Hey.
miss?
Clara broke up with Doc in the worst way possible.
He tried to tell her the
Ah,
truth,
damn it.
and she did not take it kindly.
Obviously.
Wow, fuck.
Oops.
Future really ain't written.
You better hope no one else sees the DeLorean.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, it's time for the climax, so yeah. Okay. Oh boy, Doc is plastered.
Doc, what are you doing, man?
Also, yeah, the implication that he drunk all the night.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, I guess he has a really high tolerance.
Oh, Jova, remember, I'm not one much to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. They take
Never mind, he has a low tolerance. Just
He
one
just-
drink.
Well, to be fair, he's probably not used to it.
No, actually, that was the joke. He actually never even started drinking it. He was just that depressed.
Oh,
Yep.
stag.
Wow, he snapped out of his drunkenness quickly.
He wasn't
Oh,
drunk,
remember,
just
he
depressed.
wasn't to begin with.
Yeah.
And Back to the Future again.
I tell you, I bet me 20 smackaroos that that'll
Oh,
never come to be.
Well, shit.
And he's dead.
Oh, he had just one.
Yeah. Well, Dweebs, to give credit, at least you're still conscious.
So, wow, I guess Doc Brown
I don't
hasn't
think
even...
even I'd be this. Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be this bad.
I know, right? He officially has a lower tolerance than even you, Dwibs.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. She's catching a train. Oh boy, wake up,
Let me
Juice.
get. Oh, Tabasco, of course.
Yep, this was sort of the...
Ugh.
Well, it's effective. He's not kidding, by the way. Tabasco is surprisingly the arch enemy of alcohol. Oh.
Here we go.
Just hope it doesn't scorch his throat.
Yeah.
He's up!
Please don't show me the internal organs of Christopher Lloyd ever again. Of course.
Yeah. Uh-oh, and she's boarding a locomotive. Wait a minute.
More like she needs to board the passenger's car. There you go.
That said,
Also,
though...
stand back, you lemon. You get hit. Everyone else is on the right platform.
Of course, it's all destiny and shit.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. I heard it was something called the script.
Really, Dwibs? That's how you're doing the accent?
Well,
Come on, Dwibs.
it's not my best. Well, it's not my best, but at the minute I'm not exactly.
You see, Dwibs. Aye, laddie. You've got to put a bit more flourish in it, aye?
Anyway, yeah, it's finally time
Uh-oh.
for the duel.
You're American, dude.
Well, I have some Irish and Scottish descent. Besides, us Americans can do pretty good accents. Johnny Depp does a killer British one.
And there
Oh,
you go.
no. Clint Eastwood! It's time to face your destiny.
Does the real Clint Eastwood make a cameo in this?
Surprisingly not.
I've only ever seen films he's directed, not ones he's starred in. As I think I have.
Doesn't even know the name of the word.
So he doesn't know what the word forfeit means.
Uh-oh. Come on, Doc, I'm about to enter a challenge because nobody calls me yellow-bellied! Oh, boy.
Well, yeah, to be fair, now it's also on the stake in the name of Clint Eastwood.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I don't even know how to count.
Thanks.
Again, though, Joe, remember, he still has a plan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming, shut up.
And there you go. The clip that's used over and over and over nowadays on YouTube.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh!
Yeah,
Well, that didn't go so well.
there you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, the train.
Well, yeah, the train. Oops.
Crap.
BRB.
Can I please get off the train now?
Not right now, honey. You need to hear this bout of exposition that'll convince you of something. That's generous. All things considered.
Let me guess, they're talking about someone else entirely.
This is my stop. My very unorthodox stop.
But we're like 500 miles from the station.
Don't worry, I'll walk. Certainly not in the back.
Okay.
Oh, time. It doesn't even really feel like it was shot in 1990. Well, 89, I reckon. Or 88.
Alright. If you saw any of Clint Eastwood's, Western movie, you know exactly where this is going.
I've seen two of his non-Western movies.
Yeah, we're not gonna give you a clue, Dweebs.
It's Space
What?
Cowboys and Sully.
Watch Unforgiven.
And Gran Torino.
Oh, Gran Torino's not a western too.
True, no, okay, no, it's okay. Well, essentially watch the whole spaghetti genre with made by Sergio Leone.
What? Oh, he's dead.
I can't fucking believe Marty McFly is dead.
Yeah.
But hey, at least he'll be remembered not as a coward.
True.
What?
Lucky you didn't get the crotch kick. Haha.
There you go. This is exactly how Clint Eastwood also saves himself in one of the movies he starred in back in the day.
Now it's time to emasculate the man. There, you get the musical punch.
There you go,
Power of
symbolizing
our chemistry will help.
by destroying the tombstone.
Here
Awesome.
lies.
Banana's llama? Ah, my cabbage. No, wait, that's not. Actually, I think that's cow shit.
Those are not cabbages, my friend.
They look like frozen spinach.
Oh, come on!
How loyal?
We're getting the hell out of Dodge.
Oh yeah, it's actually shit.
Yep, they are finally going to get arrested.
I hate that hedgehog. Oh wait,
Just take me to jail.
sure, let's go with that.
He's talking shit.
And there you go.
Yeah, get it? Talking
yeah, we
shit
still-
because shit comes out of his mouth.
Yeah, we
So,
still have to get the train.
so I guess either he'll get. So I guess either after spending several years in jail, he'll somehow get a girlfriend or something. So he'll be able to somehow have Biff's ancestors. Take care of it good. My very future, I mean your future, could depend on it.
All right. Ah, there you go. By seeing essentially what he has left here, essentially she will be convinced by what he was saying.
Which means we can't afford to leave her in the past.
Well, she was already a paradox to begin with, so yeah.
Now, how do we borrow a locomotive with passenger cars and everything attached to it?
Stop the train,
Come on, Doc.
please.
You know, he's quite Brazilian agile for being a nerdy scientist, so...
Hey,
that's
just because you're nerdy doesn't mean you can't be athletic.
There you go. Yeah.
All part of the plan.
Alright, time to actually hijack the train. We...
Ooh,
Ah, splinters.
yeah. I hate
Yeah.
splinters.
Still better than blisters.
Alright, then... Yeah, essentially now we're recreating the great train robbery.
Yeah.
Except that's full of wood, which is
And they don't have guns, so... Oh, they actually do have. What the?
In the name of science, I do declare we need your train.
Hey, what's the hold up out in front of there?
Well,
Uh,
just at the
Technical
switch time.
difficulties,
There
sirs.
you go.
I guess.
Hey, look at the bright side. All they took was the locomotive. Normally,
True, but how do you explain that to the passengers back then?
technical difficulties, folks. We'll be here for, a few weeks or so.
A few weeks?
Well, it takes a few weeks.
I gotta be in San Francisco by tomorrow.
Well, you'll just have to tell your sweetheart. Sorry, honey, it was, we were kind of a train short.
Bang on, if that train goes too fast, it's gonna plow into the DeLorean and destroy it.
Actually, no, they're starting to gain velocity just at the right time so we can start pushing the car. There you go.
I'm surprised production of this film wasn't even more expensive than $40 million, considering
And there you go. In
the
the
cost of all the
meantime,
coal
Doc
and the train.
there you go. Yeah, Doc created some special recipes that will actually boost the train considerably.
And they're probably gonna need those too.
Yeah, they need them to push the locomotive to its maximum capacity. Yeah. We.
Now the tricky part is gonna be getting from the locomotive to the car.
Yeah.
But hey, it should be simple. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Also, what's the DeLorean gonna do when it hits the Earth and we're on traditional modern day roads?
It's gonna spark because it's got no tires.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was
exactly.
thinking. Yeah, because of those tires.
Well, it will actually help it to stop, actually, because again, 88 miles per hour. Yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess we're going back to the original time now.
Yeah, just a bit after. First explosive, I think.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh no, it's all of them, but they explode in a certain sequence, yeah. Oh, there you go, how convenient. It fucking explodes. Yeah.
So let's see. So falling off the bridge doesn't kill us, the train will.
Pretty much.
So much for borrowing.
First one.
Where?
Pulse pad. Yeah.
About that, Doc.
Your dearly beloved, or formerly dearly beloved,
Formally,
Yeah,
maybe redundantly. That's funny.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can't really. You can't.
that's funny, Marty. For a moment, I could have sworn I heard the woman who broke my heart, but that would just be ridiculous at this time of all days.
And oh.
That's two. Oh god, and she's in the wood pile, which is probably going to be the most flammable area on that train sooner or later.
Yeah.
Can the Devil May Cry go to 88 miles?
Oh, well, it better. Otherwise, well, we'll have plenty of time to think about that where we'll go if all else goes wrong.
You don't mean.
Yes.
Come on, Doc, you can do it.
Devil May Cry 2? No.
Oh god.
Come on.
We're approaching the danger zone.
I
He
went
gets-
through
He gets
the
distracted
danger
by her and he falls off and.
Die.
50.
Only 38 more miles an hour to go.
Of all the times to profess your love for another, now might not be the best idea!
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we passed the point of no return.
Oh, goody. Trust
Yeah,
me,
sure.
you probably...
Trust me.
Normally I would not suggest doing something dangerous, but this is actually the safest thing for you to do.
Come with me if you want to live.
Okay, now you got me imagining Christopher Lloyd as the Terminator.
That could be an more interesting movie plot than Genesis was.
It's funny you mention
Yeah.
that because
and Salvation.
Is Paramount still doing anything with the franchise?
you know what's
From what we can tell, apparently they're just waiting it out and James Cameron's gonna get back the rights and he's gonna do something himself.
Which is not gonna happen until he's done with the sixth Avatar sequel.
hey, you know what's
But
funny?
whatever, it's another point.
Hey, you know what's funny? How it should have ended did a how it should have ended for Terminator, where basically Arnold Schwarzenegger teams up with Doc Brown.
I mean, I didn't like Genesis, but I like it more than friggin' Salvation.
Salvation. I can agree to that, but I also can disagree. It's complicated. Alright,
Yeah.
time for the third explosion.
Well, crap.
Eek!
Okay.
Wow.
75
Well,
miles per hour.
And we're at an angle.
There you go.
Use the hoverboard from the very distant future!
What's a hoverboard?
You'll
But
find
yeah,
out
also the
soon
border.
enough!
Also, yeah, the boiler is about to explode.
But that would wreck the time continuum.
That's the least of
Oh,
our
well,
worries. Besides, there are no witnesses around.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, my dress is gonna get ripped!
That's what you're concerned about right now?
Sorry.
Your
There we go.
priorities, woman.
Power of Mattel, don't fail me now!
Yes! Buy now for 19.99, kids, and it will someday save your life!
It's like your algebra teacher telling you what math will one day save your life.
We're approaching the end of the track.
This is the perfect way to pick up a girl. Travel back to the 19th century on a hoverboard on a locomotive that's about to kill you.
There's not enough time to get them on board, so Marty's gonna have to go by himself.
Ah, oh well.
See?
Maybe he'll be able to build another DeLorean.
We'll see.
Well, it's the end of the line.
There you go.
Uh,
Unfortunately,
And
the
of course, like I
locomotive-
figured, the locomotive plunges off the bridge.
You know, I am not the
Boom.
only one who has played it back then, but this reminds me so much of the Ghost Town level of Vigilante 8, where one of the things that you can do is to shoot down a bridge and wait for the train to actually crash down from there. Little trailer for you.
and so Doc Brown was stuck in the past and the whole world's fucked.
Well, more like,
The train.
more like it was just stuck in
Huh.
the past and that was it.
Well, what do you know? One that doesn't end in the DeLorean crashing.
The DeLorean is now arriving at platform 3.
Here's the
Hope you
problem.
had a nice ride.
Here's the problem, Marty, you kinda need to get out of the car fast.
Yeah.
Hi.
Get the fuck out!
You've seen stranger things than this. Come on.
True.
Oops.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap.
Always something. Always something.
And there you go.
Well,
The
never
DeLorean
mind.
is
There goes the
finally
DeLorean.
destroyed. Yeah.
No, not the DeLorean.
It
All that
survives.
to get destroyed by a train.
It
I love how the train
survives.
doesn't even bother to stop, it just keeps going. Even though
That's a-
they
that's a
technically
really
destroyed the car, the mechanics were like, whatever, I'll just pass over it.
Wow.
Got a hell of a lot of clearing up to do there.
But yeah, that's the death of the iconic.
Yeah, the DeLorean's destroyed. Doc Brown's stuck in the past.
Oh,
But at least
dear.
Marty managed to get back to his own time.
Did he really, though? Did he?
The
That would be
freaking
an
power.
interesting twist.
Yeah, they-
And then he
Power
turns
of God.
around and then sees that the Lincoln Memorial has been replaced with a monkey's head.
Look out, the three-headed monkey.
Oh wait, no, that's Tim Burton.
Mm. Yeah, don't worry, Joe.
Yeah,
don't
I
worry.
still
Alright.
understand what the twist of that movie was even about.
Let's
We
see.
got don't worry, don't worry. We had a perfectly awesome trilogy of films to make up for it.
Alright, let's see what the damage has been done to the current time stream.
Yeah, that's what the damage
Well,
is.
Oh, hey, Biff.
Considering now that Biff's family has been humiliated since the Old West now,
yeah.
Well, normal as per Back to the Future 1's ending, anyway.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, I remember they actually had deposited his girlfriend, the bear, in Back to the Future 2.
Yeah, she's still asleep.
Because she saw herself.
Yeah.
Even though that really... You know what, never mind.
That was Back to the Future 2. Fun, but it
Yeah.
made no freaking sense.
I mean, I just don't get it, though. Why is she the only one who... Again, gonna let that one go.
Jeez, woman, I know the second film's a bit hard. It really wasn't that bad.
Perhaps a kiss will wake up my beloved.
I know, right?
Also, Toyota.
Well, it makes sense considering one of their slogan was "Today, Tomorrow, Toyota."
Huh.
What do they mean he got fired?
Hmm.
oh, here we go.
Did you just say the C word?
Of course.
Nobody calls me chicken.
Oh, yeah. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Well, at least they're obeying the laws of traffic. Sort of.
Indeed. Sucker.
Yeah.
Yep. And you would have been dead. Uh-oh.
There you go.
You're
The fire
fired.
ladder is gone. Basically, Marty accepting his own to be more restrained from his anger actually managed to change the future.
Huh.
What was he fired from exactly, though? I can't remember.
Remember, that's because he was a coward, and in a fit of, also the fact of someone calling him a chicken, he actually accepted a trade that ended up being illegal and having his boss firing him.
Yeah.
Also the fact that he would have crashed into a Rolls Royce, too.
Mm-hmm.
And there goes the fans' hopes for a Back to the Future 4.
Until,
worry, we
Wait.
Telltale has something to do about it.
Hey, we're gonna get a short. We got a short film
Wait a minute.
True.
What?
Well, Joe,
I
what's
stand
next?
corrected! We have a time-traveling locomotive! And a pretty
Which
sweet,
is-
awesome one.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot
Okay,
of...
how is Back to the...
like,
How is this movie considered the weakest? Like, seriously, it's a flipping time-traveling locomotive.
I always thought 2 was considered the
it runs,
weakest.
and it runs on Steam.
Maybe 2 is considered the weakest, I have no idea.
And there you go.
I honestly think
The
all three
family?
movies complement each other really well, honestly.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think
agree.
they are too. Oh, snap!
Holy crap.
How imaginative.
You certainly got busy, I see.
We actually managed to get also the dog.
True that.
Yeah, there you go. You need to cut back to the dog.
So, now how do we explain this train to the authorities?
Hmm.
Just say it's a science experiment.
Good idea.
Yeah. I just hope that the military doesn't want to weaponize this thing. There we go.
Yep. So it turns out he helped found the city. Hey, yeah, that fixes what we were originally planning to fix in Back to the Future 2.
The future's not set. There's no fake but the one. There's no fake but the one we make for ourselves. There you go. See.
But Terminator
sound
3
out
said
Whatever.
Actually, Dweebs that kinda has the same moral, just in the favor of a villain.
Exactly.
Remember Dweebs, the Terminator franchise is carrying up in a sense that the more movie progresses, the more it shows that the machines actually manage to change the future in their favor.
Until
More and
Terminator
more.
Genesis.
Terminator Genesis is literally fan fiction with a budget.
And look at that for the final shot.
So
Yeah,
where? Oh, that's right.
Take
What-
it as
Where the heck are they going now? The moon?
Well, sky's the limit.
Where are they going actually?
I think they are headed to the moon.
Don't you see? We have to recapture the ending shot of the first movie.
And that's it.
Well, I guess that explains how Doc Brown will be back for... Okay, so what's the short movie about?
From what I've heard, I haven't heard much of the plot.
Me neither.
Well, okay, it explains how he'll be back for the video game, which I guess is a continuation.
Yes, it's said after this. Again, I don't know too much about it, but it's a direct sequel to this.
So, do we have an after credits scene?
No, we
No.
can start our final thoughts. Go ahead, Dweebs.
Wait, Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers was in this?
Wouldn't surprise
Sure, why
me.
not?
Right, he's been in a lot more films than I thought he was.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, thoughts. Well, I'd say I enjoyed this more than the second. I don't think I didn't enjoy the second film, but this one's a lot more easier to follow. I did have to burp a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think of the franchise in general at this point? Since for now at least, it's concluded and everything.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
This is one of those franchises that pretty much everybody likes.
Yeah, even if it did get a bit convoluted at times.
Well, it's a time travel
It's
story.
time travel. That's
It's
kind of
bound
comes
to
with the
happen. Yeah.
territory.
Yeah, I know.
All
But
right,
yeah, overall, I had fun.
Clearly.
all
Alright.
right, Pedro.
Yeah, I love all three of these movies. Like I always have a lot of fun watching them, and it's just and it's, like I said, I think all three movies just work as just one continuous story because all three of them take place right after the last one, and it's just to me it just works as a really well-made story that just goes around and just over the course of three movies, and just overall all three movies complement each other really well. Like, and each movie tries something different, despite at the same time being one story told over the course of three. So it works out really well. Definitely one of the best trilogies ever made.
Oh, but before whoever goes next. Apparently, when Ronald Reagan saw the film,
Yeah.
when he saw the joke about him being president, he ordered the cinema's projectionist to stop the reel and run that scene again. Well, I was going to ask how can he tell people to do that without getting thrown out, but then I remembered
He's the president.
Yeah. All right, next.
All right, Jova.
Yeah, I have to say, I really like these movies in the sense that, they don't go to the stupid cliches of, oh, well, because we have to keep time in check and everything, that means you have to have a downer ending. It's like, no, it's like, yeah, the future is not written. Sure, we change time here and there, but, what the heck? I mean, I think the reason this works as a time travel story is that it acknowledges just one of the basic facts. There is no way you're gonna go back in time and somehow not change it. That's just impossible. So, yeah, that is one thing unique about these films that I think helps make them work great as time travel films. There is unchanged, despite what the heroes do. But, okay, let's talk about this movie itself. This movie was a blast. Like, the cinematography is great, the effects are wonderful and help the action and excitement. And yeah, I do like the action scenes. Again, I know it's a typical hero, bad guy gets comeuppance, but it's a nice twist with the Old West here and there. And I do like how the doc finally gets some actual happiness by the end of a film without something getting compromised. So yeah, this film was a blast. It's a rip-roaring time. I enjoy all three of these movies.
Good.
Oh, by the way, the music was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, Alan Silvestre and everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's this for me. Pretty much what also you guys said. This is a very fun, entertaining franchise to watch and to even once in a while, like with friends and everything. It also tells how a time travel story kind of should be done in the basic format. I mean, yes, it had made the problems here and there, but compared to other time travel stories, this is gold. Trust me. Like, it's so easy to fuck up, and this series manages to stay consistent through 3 movies straight. That's still an accomplishment.
Like I said, what helps it compared to most time travel stories is that this one actually doesn't make it all about the heroes trying to make everything the same as it was before. It's just the heroes trying to make best of what's going on.
As for this movie in particular, yeah, it's fine enough, just like the others. It may be a bit simple compared to the others. Not much happens in the story when you think about it. It takes a bit of a slower approach, but that doesn't, detract from the overall experience. Especially considering how 2 instead, for comparison, was jam-packed with stuff all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fine. Also, good references to Clint Eastwood Western movies are always good enough. So yeah, definitely something positive out of both this movie and the franchise in general. Yeah. This is all for the movies, so tune in for either we'll do the short or the Telltale video game, we'll see. So.
What about the NES game?
Jova, if a time machine will ever exist, I will travel back to retcon his existence in the first place.
That bad?
Also,
we need to stop the founding of LJN.
Also, what are you talking about, guys? I remember the bees and the collecting the clocks part from the movie so well.
Wait,
truly,
bees? Collecting clock parts?
It's a long story, Jova. Anyway, that's great. Almost over anyway. So see you for whatever next we'll do tied to this franchise.
We'll see you back in time.
Yeah. And hopefully with Dweeb's not piloting the TARDIS this time around.
Yeah, I'll drive.
Don't worry. We'll probably, knowing me, we'll probably end up at the Matrix again.
No, Dweebs. You've driven us into Twin Dilemma.
All right. See ya.
See you next time.